Alrighty. How you doing, all you petterers? It is a beautiful day, and welcome to Double Club Diesels. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you like this kind of thing. If you don't, you're not that cool anyways. I'm just kidding. Today, we have the E3 air valve part came in. This video is going to be dedicated to repairing air leaks and tracking them down and fixing them. I have tracked them down already. It's just a matter of getting them back together with no air leak. So one of the things would be this treadle valve, which, if you don't know what a treadle valve is, sounds kind of silly, I know. Treadle, I mean, who came up with that? Maybe because treadle rhymes with pedal, I don't know. But that's your treadle valve, right in there. This one, I'm thinking it's an E3. That's why I ordered an E3. I didn't take that one off to figure it out if it was an E3. I actually replaced the treadle valve on my 158 model Brockway, which I had just at the start of video making, and I actually don't think I ever put the video that I made of me replacing the E3 treadle valve on my 158, which so happened to also be an LL Brockway. LL is in the serial number of the Brockway, and that states that this truck was factory built as a straight truck, no fifth wheel. The 158 was also an LL. So the serial number on the 158 would be 158 blah 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 number, I don't remember the serial number for that truck, LL. And one of the numbers in there means that it had a Cummins or a Continental. That one had a Continental originally, but then a Cummins. Anyways, I'm going on. This truck is as well an LL, which means it had no fifth wheel and it was built as a straight truck, hence the reason why there's only one parking brake, and the other one's the PTO knob. But anywho, so we are going to replace the treadle valve. In order to do that, we've got to try and get that brake pedal off. I really hope it doesn't break. It probably will. They never go well. So we're going to give that a shot. I've been soaking it in Torque CB. Only the best lubricant around. The best, I'm telling you. The best. The best lubricant. But it still can't unseize certain things. But we're going to see, because we have to knock the actual brake pedal off by pounding the pin out. And the last truck I did this on went very poorly. Maybe I'll find some clips to throw in right after, right at this point. Okay, so it's out. Everything's out. We took a mental photograph of where all those lines are supposed to go in there on the brake valve. And then there's a pedal. I did find that. Anywho, so we're gonna get at it. I don't know where to start. Yeah, start by taking bolts out. Hold tight and have a good time. Wow. I'm actually a lucky fella. I got the main pin out. So this pin I'm talking about goes through two aluminum ears on this cast brake pedal assembly. Man, my glasses are fogging up. I, for the longest time, was trying to get a little tool. I even broke this wrench here with my bare hands. I'm just kidding, I have human hands. Dad joke. Anywho, I broke this thing off to see if I could get it up inside and then hit it. Not working. I went and grabbed a crow's foot. Half-inch crow's foot. Let's try to know where that went. That had no chance of working. So then my stubbornness, because I really didn't want to try and pound the main pin out for the brake pedal, because I was afraid of breaking the aluminum. Well, I got frustrated enough that I just was like, either it's going to break or it's going to go. So I started wailing on it with, I took my wire strippers here because they can grip on the stuff real good. And this isn't the bolt I used, but I grabbed onto one of the bolts, just like that, and I put it in the hole, and I started hitting it. And that pin moved, and I was like, game on, brother. So this is the result. Here is pedal. Okay? It was not seized. It was not seized in here. It was seized in this, because this is an aluminum housing. And where's that pin? This is the pin that was in there. And actually, see how there's a hole right here? And a hole right here? I did not punch this out. So I have a feeling that this treadle valve has actually been leaking, probably by maybe the previous owner, and they pounded this pin out, thinking that they could get this out, and realized they couldn't. So they just stopped working on it? I don't know, because it does, once it hits like, I think once it hits like 70, maybe 90 PSI, it just dumps air out of the bottom of the valve. But I am so happy. It's getting dark. I don't think I'll be able to. I hear some bats or something. I don't think I'll be able to get it all done tonight, just because this is an after-work activity. But I got the hardest part out. The rest of it is just taking lines off and then pulling the treadle valve out. So I'm actually super, super excited. I'm going to get a 12-point socket right on this thing, because it's actually cleaned off pretty well, and try to take it off. And this is something that I've never actually seen before on these brake pedals. There's a rubber stopper that jams inside that little groove right there. And good thing that I didn't break that whole thing, the ears off, because then I think I'd have a heck of a time finding one that is original like this. So I am super excited I got that out. Maybe, I don't think tonight I'll be able to get to finish it, because I gotta still put away all my tools. But I can't tell you, it's such a little item, you know. But I can't tell you how happy I got this pin out, because the one thing I didn't like about having to replace the whole pedal assembly on my 158 is that it wasn't original. And this truck is as original as it gets. So we're keeping the pedal, and I think this is the original. I know this is the original pedal, and it's still even got paint on it. And I know this truck's never been repainted, and it's like, you can tell that it might actually have the original 30,000 miles on this truck. It might. Hours, my guess would probably, has a lot of hours because it used to have a crane on it. But, dude, I'm tickled. Anyways, we'll continue this tomorrow. Pitter patter, bud. Alrighty. It is tomorrow. As if the last thing that you probably just watched. It is now tomorrow. And we are taking the E3 brake valve all the way off. Started taking some lines off. Not even going to label them because they're pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, and it's kind of cozy in here. I'm stuck between a tire and a hard place. Get the people, if you've heard the saying, you'd get it. That was pretty funny. Anywho, we're going to get this thing off, put it back on, And I'm just going to show you that it's done. And it's not going to be anything extravagant. It's just going to be done. Maybe I'll start the truck and redline it for you. Pitter patter. This stinking line. Out of all of these copper lines, you would think that they would be the problem. It's this one with a plastic jobbing on it. It won't let go. I don't know. Stop spinning. Well, that's unexpected. The whole thing came right apart. I guess it was time to replace it, huh? Alrighty, as you can tell, I got it out. It wasn't that big of a fight. First one I ever did on the 158 was, that one was a fight because on a 158, it was obviously a lot older truck. That truck was like a 62, but like the body style and the way that they built things was still kind of 50s. It just looked like an old truck. You guys, as you guys can tell from the previous shot that I threw in here of it. But the cab was way lower and the E3 valve was kind of between the frame. So in order to get this big back one off, I actually got up through the frame rail to get it off. It was a fight, but this one wasn't too bad. I did have to cut that one plastic line that was giving me fits. But I think that's going to be a wrap for this video. If you guys could you just, those water trucks, I mean, glad for what they do, but they are the most unappealing sounding freaking truck. Nothing like a pack car with an automatic Allison in it to just really ruin your outlook of semi-trucks. Nah, I'm just kidding. But anywho, so it's probably going to be a wrap for this video. As you guys can see, I cut that one off. Next time you see this, it's going to be in the truck. And it's going to be a two-parter. So this will be in, and for the second part, if you guys stay tuned, you guys are going to learn how to rebuild air shift valves for an aromatic transmission. Rods are getting machined. Gonna put it all back together and show you guys how to do it. And not that anybody probably will ever need to know how to do it, because it's like one of them kind of not really the most appealing transmissions. I don't know why. It seems like a cool transmission to me. What I'm referring to is the 20 speed. It's in my truck, and it's got the shift, the air shift levers. But that's a wrap. I'm gonna take this to work tomorrow and put it on a vise to take this apart, because I don't have a vise here, because I want to make sure everything's clocked exactly the way it should be, you know what I mean, and where it's got to go. But I thought that was pretty crazy. I mean, as you guys can see, this one isn't coming apart. I mean, well, it's got these clips on there that kind of hold it all in, but this thing kind of just popped right out, and it is nasty in there. And you can see the reason why I replaced it is you can see the air's been dumping out because that's peeled up right there. I mean, normally it would look like this one. Back in the day, I think these used to be, they probably still are, they're rebuildable, and I probably could rebuild this one, but it's like 60 bucks for this thing. And the only difference I see on it is, see how there's a plug right here? I don't know if you see that. Yeah. See how you can, there's a plug right there. Well, there's a spot for one right there, but there's nothing on it. Luckily, there's no line coming out of that. I hope this should all work the same. I don't see why it wouldn't. But, anyways, they're pitter-patterers. Pitter-patter, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.